Hi, I'm Quiva from Paranormal Adventures Ireland and the Unity Project. Why are there no caveman ghosts? This is a question I get on a frequent basis. The first time I was asked, I was in work and I hadn't an answer for him. I was so confused. I had never really thought of it that way. But since then, this has been a reoccurring question I've gotten 1,000 times. Why are there no caveman ghosts? I know when I've been on investigations, communicating through Spirit Box, asking questions, getting answers, I've had spirits say unfinished business as a reason why they haven't passed on. I've had spirits say I want to be here as a reason that they don't want to pass on. I've had spirits say, this is my home. Why would I leave? This is where I live. This is my house. We look to the Stone Age, we see that there is passage tombs all over Ireland. We can see that they're all over the world. If you look at Göbekli Tepe, which is the oldest civilization, is that somewhere that we now need to investigate? As paranormal investigators, are we going to find something else there that we haven't seen before? Should we be doing the burn? The burn. Happy days, like, go out, spend your time with some limestone, but are you going to get evidence there? Is that something that we're going to have to do? Because all of these places have connections to the past, they have connections to the people, and although we do find an awful lot of these ancient places are to do with grave sites and their burial practices, are spirits going to be attached there? Like we've seen in our own graveyards, most likely we're not going to see as many spirits there as we are just wandering about. And we do see ghosts in graveyards. I'm not saying that we don't. You're not going to find your Auntie Maleficent in the graveyard down the road where she's buried. You're more likely to find her in the kitchen where you guys used to make pie because she liked making pie. Ghosts are seen as, if they have an unfortunate death, more likely to stay around because sometimes that they don't know that they're dead. Sometimes they know that they're dead, but they don't want to leave. Sometimes they're like, well, I didn't get enough living. But bringing it back to the subject of cavemen ghosts, is it a case that with cavemen ghosts, because they were around so long ago, well, not so long ago in the grand scheme of things, so long ago in human history, that they're not around because they're not being remembered, or that there's no one alive now who'd remember them personally? One example of why we don't see cavemen ghosts. Now, I know this is very trivial, but it's an idea to think about. Disney's movie Coco. Funny enough. So, someone passes away, they go over to the afterlife, they're remembered. They stay in the afterlife as long as they're remembered, which is the whole story arc of that entire movie. But then once the last person who was alive while they were alive, remembering them, passes away, then they have final death and they fade away. Now, if we take the idea of that whole thing and we move it to spirits stuck on Earth, is that the reason why cavemen ghosts don't really exist? Are they not around because the people who would have remembered them have passed away and they've moved on? So we can also look to the fact that civilization has progressed so much that a lot of these sites that they would originally have known and dealt with have been destroyed. Are they moved on because they don't see anything that they recognize anymore? Is that why we don't see cavemen ghosts? And even if we did see cavemen ghosts, would we be able to understand them? Are we picking up on cavemen ghosts on our spirit boxes and wherever and just not realizing it because they're completely speaking something so foreign because it's so old to us that we just don't expect it to be a ghost? When you think about it that way, we look back to their time, whatever. What way did they speak? Should we go to the burn and figure it out? Should we go to Göbekli Tepe and figure it out? Maybe. Even if we did catch evidence and we're like, oh yeah, that's definitely a caveman. How do we know it's a caveman? How do we know? They definitely weren't speaking English. And then we can go back and we can look at languages. We can look at Latin. We can look at Old Irish. We can look at any old language that we have reference to. And they weren't speaking any of those either. Are we going to really be able to understand them? And are they going to know what we're saying? Like, it's all well and good, speaking to them and hoping for the best. But are they going to know what we're saying? Like, I know that I've been on investigations and I have used different languages to get answers. And I know that certain spirits don't need certain language to answer me. I know that they can use my language so that I understand them. But would cavemen ghosts even understand that, or even be able to acknowledge that? Are we so far apart in existence that we wouldn't even be able to communicate? Like, we could pick up a grunt on the spirit box, but we can't confirm that that grunt is from a caveman. We can pick up words on a spirit box. Again, if those words are so foreign to us that they are not from a known language, then we're not going to think that those are words. We're just going to think that they're noises. So maybe cavemen ghosts aren't faded away. Maybe they're right here, waiting for somebody to talk to them. And we just can't understand. Maybe. Anyway, if you like the video, subscribe and like. Maybe leave a comment down below. It helps with the algorithm. And I hope to be back next week with another video. See you soon.